Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing one of the only tag videos that I really love to do every single year around this time, and that is the end of year book tag. I do believe this was created by Ariel Bissett, but it basically just goes through an end of year TBR in a way. I definitely have quite a few books that I would really like to read before the end of the year, so I figured why not sit down? We can go through them today. So without further ado, let's just jump into the questions. The first question is, are there any books you started this year and need to finish? I definitely have like a lot of books that I've started this year that I have not completed yet. I'm not actually going to list all of them because there are a few of them that I'm just not going to prioritize before the end of the year, but the one book that I really would like to finish before, not even just before the end of the year, just like kind of soon-ish, is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. I started this one back in like mid-October maybe. I was listening to the audiobook, which I was really enjoying, and I just have not gone back to it, honestly. I feel like I've been in a wee bit of a reading slump recently, so I really haven't wanted to jump back into anything like crazy, you know, not that this is crazy, but it's just not exactly what I've been wanting to pick up recently. But I feel like as, you know, we draw towards the end of November, early December, I'll definitely want to hop into some high fantasy, and I feel like The Lord of the Rings is kind of just the perfect, kind of cozy, not really, but like it gives me a cozy vibe, almost, kind of fantasy story. I also read The Lord of the Rings initially in like November, December, so why not do it again? Not that that really has anything to do with anything, but I do kind of associate that time with The Lord of the Rings now, so yeah, I would like to finish The Two Towers. I think I was like halfway through it maybe. I'm like a chapter away from when it changes perspective, kind of. And I would really like to get to that, so yeah. Gonna finish this one. All right, the second question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year with? I do. Now, the thing is, I have already read this book. You haven't seen the vlog for it yet, though, so, like, have I read it? I don't know. I'm gonna use it anyway, though. I wrote the answers to this tag, like, earlier, and I thought I was gonna film this earlier, but that did not happen, so I'm gonna use this one anyway because I want to recommend it to you guys as an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year with. And that is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I finished this up yesterday, actually. I won't give you any of my thoughts on it, like, it was pretty good. But this book is very witchy, it's very cozy. It does take place in the month of October, but honestly, I don't think the October vibes are, like, strong enough to where I would feel like weird to read it in November. Although I'm also a very seasonal reader, so maybe that wouldn't be weird to you anyway, in the slightest. But like, as somebody who does like to match books to specific months, I read this one technically a month late, if you will. And I still absolutely, no, I'm not giving you my thoughts on it. You'll have to find out if I like it. I did. I'll tell you that right now that I did. But I just always feel like a witchy story to kind of end off spooky season, ring in the rest of late fall, kind of feels like the perfect thing. Perhaps I should have picked a different book for this question, but alas, I did not. All right, question 3. Is there a new release you are still waiting for? Absolutely, there is a new release that I am still waiting for. I tried looking through like lists and stuff of books still coming out in 2024, and nothing aside from this book was like jumping out at me, so I literally only have the one. And that is, of course, Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 5 in the Stormlight archive. After reading the series for about 3 years, I finally have caught up with Stormlight. I read Rhythm of War back in January, and I have been so highly anticipating the 5th book in this series. I am terrified, though. Like, based on some predictions, based on some things that I think might happen, I'm terrified of reading this book, honestly. Because if you guys don't know, Stormlight it's a 10-book series, but it's split into 2 different arcs. So Wind and Truth is the end of the first arc, and I think there's a time jump, and then you kind of get into the second arc. So this is the conclusion of a story, basically. So I am very scared to see how that's gonna go. I feel like there have been a couple of more, you know, conclusional books that Brandon Sanderson has written that I haven't loved, but I'm certainly so hyped. Been so highly anticipating it. I cannot wait to go out and get my copy and read it throughout the month of December, and it'll probably spill into January a little bit, but I'm certainly okay with that. All right, question 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? All right, so it's my like really small end of the year TBR we have here. The first book being Ari Adney by Jennifer Saint. This is a kind of Greek myth retelling. I know we're all kind of over Greek myth retellings at this point in time, but I hopped on the train late, guys, okay? So I'm still catching up a little bit, and I've been very excited to read this one because it obviously follows Ari Adney. who is featured in the story of like the Minotaur. She's also got some associations with Dionysus, I believe, and I've just been really excited about this one because I know a lot of people really, really love this. I read Circe back in August and I absolutely adored it. It was so good, and I'm so glad that I finally got around to reading that one. And after I read that one, I was like, I need more Greek myth retelling, so I figured this would be a good one to pick up and read. I just think it's gonna be really good. I know Jennifer Saint also has other Greek myth retelling type books, so if I like this one, I can pick those other ones up as well. Then I also do have a bit of a chunky fantasy book that I would like to read before the end of the year. I think this is, well, I mean, it's only like 600 pages. It could be worse. But that is The Sword of Kaigan by Emma Wong. I have, again, talked about this one already. I think, you know, both of these might have been on my fall TBR. I'm sorry for the repetition. But these really just are the couple of books that I would like to prioritize before the end of the year. This is truly a book that I personally feel like I have never seen somebody say something bad about. I feel like everybody loves it. I've had it on my TBR since, I think, early last year, maybe. So I'm thinking it's finally the time to actually pick it up. And I think the thing that really makes this unique is that it has like a mother and son dynamic kind of going on, which I feel like you don't get a whole lot in high fantasy as like the focal point of the book. So I'm quite excited to read this one. I honestly don't know anything else about it. There's a war, they live on a peninsula, and we're just gonna be following this family. We'll see if they tear each other apart before the true enemies ever reach the shores. Doesn't that sound so good? I'm very excited. And then the last book that I want to read before the end of the year, this one is more of like a Christmassy, well, it's not Christmassy, it takes place at Yule, but it's like a late December kind of pick that I wanted to throw on here because the more I think about it, the more excited I am about it. And that is obviously The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling. I am so excited about this one. I mean, the plot of it just sounds so intriguing. So I'm really interested to get into this one and kind of see how it compares to the rest of the books in the series, because this is like the third book in like a romance, like a witchy romance companion type series, the first book being the XX. But I believe they time travel 60 years into the past to some Yuletide celebration that's going on, and they have to work together to figure out why this happened, how they can like get out of this situation, and it just sounds so perfect, honestly. I definitely have a lot of like more Christmassy, wintry type books that I want to read in December, but this is definitely one of the ones that I'm the most excited about, so seeing as that is kind of coming up pretty soon, I thought I would mention it. All right, question number 5. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? I don't know. I don't know if any of these are giving me favorite book of the year kind of feelings. I feel like maybe I would really enjoy Ari Adney. I'm thinking maybe I'll really enjoy The Sword of Kaigan. I just don't know if any of them are going to be 5 stars. I feel like the one that has potential to be 5 stars, which is Wind and Truth, I'm not planning on finishing in December, so I'm like, I don't know, probably not. I would love it if one would pop out at me and become a favorite of the year, because I feel like I haven't found like a really top tier book in a couple of months, and it's making me kind of sad, honestly. And I do feel like that is somewhat due to my, you know, seasonal reading tendencies, because in, you know, September and October, I really enjoy picking up like more spooky, atmospheric books, which I enjoy, but they never end up being favorite books. So now that I'm kind of getting back into more of my typical fantasy and whatnot, I feel like maybe one could surprise me. I don't know. I definitely have had some surprises this year, but we'll just see if another one arises. And then question number 6, have you already started making reading plans for 2024? 5? What? 4? 5. Oh my god. It is gonna be 2025. And I have indeed been making reading plans for next year. I'm a big planner. I love kind of, you know, plotting things out maybe way too far ahead of time. And I definitely have a lot of like things that I would like to do next year. The main thing that I'm really excited about is that I'm going to be doing a reread of the Veronica Speedwell series, all 9 books in the series. Basically, I'm just in mourning for the fact that we're not getting the 10th book until 2026. I don't want to talk about it. But I will be doing a complete reread of the series on my Patreon, and it's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna do live shows for a couple of the books. It's just gonna be really chill, but like really fun, hopefully. I've been wanting to reread the series for quite a while, so I say quite a while. Like I didn't read it for the first time last year. But I just need more Veronica and Stoker in my life. I also really would like to go through and annotate the books. I think that would be very fun. So that's definitely like my big reading plan for next year, because it's a 9-book series so far, so I will be rereading all of them, probably one per month starting in January maybe. So if you want to come join us for that, you can join my Patreon. It's always linked down below, but yeah, I will be talking about it like in vlogs and stuff too though, obviously. And then I do just have like less specific reading plans for next year as well. I want to aim to read 2 classics. I did that this year, so I would like to do that again next year. I also would really like to read more high fantasy. I tell myself every year that I want to read more high fantasy, but I just never do because I can never commit to actually doing it because they're always so long. But I need to get over that because I really enjoy a lot of the high fantasy that I read. So that's like a main goal for next year is I really would like to read more high fantasy. So if you have any recommendations that you think I would enjoy, let me know. But I definitely have a few that I want to read. So with that, we have arrived at the end of the video. I know this is a short one, but like really what can I do with 6 questions? But I love doing the end of year book tag, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I feel like it's just a really good way to kind of check in with you all before the end of the year, go over like my small end of the year TBR, talk, you know, immediate reading plans and all that. So again, I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did, I would obviously love for you to answer any of the questions in this tag down in the comments. I would love to read through them. Let me know like what your end of the year TBR is. Again, she's always just breaking in while I'm trying to film. Oh, you're so cute. But yes, that is the end of the video, so I'm gonna go. Oh, also before I go, I would like to thank everybody over on my Patreon. If you are ever looking for more content from me, that is always linked down below. But with that, now I'm gonna go. So I hope you're all having an amazing Monday or whatever day it is that you are watching this video, and I will see you in my next one, which will be a vlog. I will be getting back to vlogs. I know I've been doing some short videos these last couple weeks, but vlogs are on the way. Come here. Say bye. Yeah, she says bye. You're so cute.